Nailed it. Okay. Welcome to Sips with the Surreal. I'm Jenna.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dina.
We're just three best friends who like to get together and talk books. We would love for you to follow along with us each week, just like a book club. We will tell you the week before what book we will be discussing so you can make sure you read it. If you check out our Instagram, each of us likes to make art, so we will post our art interpretations for each book. Dina, what are we discussing today?
Today we're discussing part two of A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is book 4 in Akatar. I'm never gonna be able to say her name right again
I
now that
don't
we
like
know.
saying Moss now. It
Listen,
sounded
Right?
the
wrong.
hairdresser said that it's Moss. I don't know what to tell
But is
you.
the hairdresser her?
She's
Is she going to call her Sarah J. Moss? Like,
It's
hi,
because
I'm
there's
calling
two
Sarah.
A's. There's two A's, so it's like Mass. Well, I don't
You're
know.
right.
What do we
Sorry.
think the cultural origin of that last name is?
Oh,
Tell you.
I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Anyway,
That's her maiden.
Interesting.
that is her maiden name,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. So, since it's a pretty long book, right, we decided to split it up into two parts. And so, once again, if you have not read it, please pause, go read, because just like the cereal, we are spilling the tea.
Oh
And
yeah.
speaking of tea, I don't think we named our drink this week since it's kind of a continuation, but I guess
No,
it's
but
like part two.
I like
Oh.
yours better this week. Show
Oh,
them yours.
no,
Ours
a
is
fly just
just fine.
landed in it.
Oh,
No.
that damn
Oh,
fly.
freaking fly. He ruined it. It's
Poop him
okay.
out.
I'll put, well, at least he's dead.
Text
Um,
Bob and tell him
He
to get you
drank.
a
He
fresh
drank.
one.
Drank and died.
yes, that's
He
how
went
potent it is.
he went out happy. He went out
Text Bob.
happy.
I'll text him right now for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Bob,
I'm like, I
Get your
don't
wife
know.
another drink.
I guess
Well,
it still kind of kept it.
it's very pretty. So tell them
It'll
what
look,
it is.
so it's basically just a regular margarita, but red wine is floated on top. And it's kind of cool because it keeps its separation. So,
That's really cool. I had no idea.
what
yeah.
did you think of like putting wine and margaritas together?
Bob?
Oh, that was Bob. And
It was like
last
a drunk
time,
move one night.
no, I think he might have seen it somewhere. And then we had tried it last year and it was actually really good. And then when I was asking him for ideas for Nesta's Fury, that was one of the things he said. Because I was like, well, it's like red hot flames. And he's like, well, what about floating red wine? I was like, oh, that's kind of a good idea. But I feel like it needs to be spicy, which is why we went with the other one last time. And it was okay.
Yeah, it was
This one's
just
better.
It's good to experiment, guys.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do we make this one Nesta's Fury Part 2? Do we name it something
Yeah,
else?
Yeah,
yeah.
part
Nesta's Fury
two.
too.
She
Let's
gets
do that.
angrier as the book goes on.
That's true.
That is true.
Oh, it's kind of like oil and water, like they don't mix. Like, right.
Ooh, look at that symbolism.
I know. English.
Like that.
Taking it back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, Danny, you are up.
All right.
Kick it
Well,
off.
where we left off, I think they had just started hiking. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, she spilled the beans about the baby having wings and Feyre might be dying. And
Now
Reese
she's
was
on like this angry punishment hike.
yeah, Reese and Cassian were like, "You're hiking and no one's talking to you while you
You're
hike."
done. You're done. All right. So there's her punishment hike, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Gwen, Nessa, and Emery continue their Valkyrie training. Their training is complete once they can cut the ribbon in half that's hanging off a beam. I thought that was really interesting because I was like, oh, yeah, cut the ribbon. And then it was like not easy.
Super hard.
Like, oh, okay, this is
I
fun.
mean, you think like there's wind blowing too. Like that can't be easy, can it?
No, no, right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be a piece of cake. Oh, right. No, it's not.
No.
Well, yeah, it's like it's flopping,
Yeah.
right? And then yeah, that's got to be very difficult.
Well, yeah. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, sure, it's easy because I could do it totally. I could
Right.
totally do Valkyrie
I
training.
could walk down
You-
those 10,000 steps and no problem with no problem.
I
And
still think I could butt bump it down. I still think you could butt
I
bump it
would
down.
love to see you attempt a really, really, really big, what's it called? Lighthouse, like going down
oh,
and see if you could manage. And like if you're,
I've done
yeah,
a
but
lighthouse.
lighthouses have like hundreds of steps, not thousands.
Listen, babe, I hiked Mount Rainier.
How many
So,
steps was that?
well, it's not really steps as more of an incline.
Yes. But did you like, I don't know.
I could do it. I could butt bump it, baby. I could butt bump it.
I
I
don't
swear. Take me to Valaris. I will show you all. Just saying. Whatever. All right, keep going.
All right. The priestesses have an evening service that Nesta attends, and she listens to them sing, which leads her to basically scrying. And she visualizes the location of the harp, and it's in the prison.
Can I just say, I found that whole priestess thing and the service very boring. I found it a bit of a snooze.
No.
Priestesses are really fun.
Yeah.
But I like,
I
besides
thought
like,
the scrying was cool.
yeah, it's fine. I thought
Anyone can do it. Yeah.
You don't think that that's a fun thing to learn?
No,
Like,
that's
you,
cool.
Can
That's cool.
you scry?
Obviously, I'm an
Are you
expert
the
scryer.
best scryer
I'm so good.
in Pennsylvania?
It's like my secret skill. I keep it
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
I pay a lot. Get paid a lot of money for
Scrying.
scrying.
That's great.
All right, we're going off the rails. Keep going.
Oh my God. All right. So Rhys gives the great sword to Nesta and Cassian, and they head to the prison. She finds the harp in the chamber that's warded, and only she can pass through. Cassian cannot. And she touches the harp and starts having visions, which opens a doorway between her and Briallen's mind. Briallen was also wearing the crown at
That was scary.
the same time.
That was scary. I didn't like that part.
And she also has visions of a fourth object, but it isn't clear. Dun, dun, dun. So the harp starts talking to her, and she asks it to open the words. Why does everything talk to her? The house, the harp. It's like
Oh, because she's made.
talk to
Capital
people.
M.
People don't talk to her.
He's me.
Yeah. Maybe that's why.
It says
Only inanimate objects can talk.
right. She's that infuriating. It says it will if she plucks the first string, which she does. And this opens the Lanthus cell. That's how you say it.
Yeah, right. Isn't Lanthus the one that Cassian's like terrified of, or no?
Yeah. But yeah, he was like, well, he was terrified, but he's the one that he
Put him away.
trapped him into the prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Lanthus starts talking to them and starts saying, based upon scent alone, I would say that you two are. But before he could finish, Cassian attacks him. He tells Nesta to run. And then Autumn soldiers sent by Briallen show up, and Nesta uses the harp to transport back to Cassian, where she sees him losing to Lanthus.
Wait, so time out. So he could have finished that sentence in a couple of different ways. Like before, like on Scent Alone, I could tell you guys have been screwing. Okay. I'm just gonna go gentler with screwing. Or it could be on Scent Alone, I could tell you guys are mated because you can like smell the mate bond or whatever. So you never know. I don't know. Or can you smell fear? Can you smell anger? Like I think you can when you're Fae. So
But at this point, I was like, they're mates, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're mates.
Yeah.
Like just say it, they're mates.
Yeah.
I
And
know
then
you
they never
were
say they're
so
mates.
funny texting us. I think they gotta say they're mates.
Yeah.
But wait,
So
you
at
think
this
they can
point-
smell anger?
yeah, I know in at least some books, I forget if it's this one, where they say they can smell fear.
Yeah, I want to say
fear,
emotion.
I feel like yes, but
Yeah.
I guess I never thought anger.
They can
but
smell arousal.
Mhm.
Like if you're just turned on.
That's like pheromones and stuff.
Yeah,
Your
but
body actually admits stuff.
yeah, but we can't smell that.
No, but they have high senses.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying what comes out of your body when you're angry, like sweat,
I don't know. Some
they smell it?
animals can smell human fear.
like a bear.
I don't know what animals, but I know
But-
they're animals.
But then does fear and anger have different scents?
I would think so.
Who could
Right?
answer this question?
I don't know.
No one,
kinda
because
curious.
they aren't real.
I'm like-
sadly, they are not real.
No, we don't.
Thomas Doherty,
Post coming soon.
post coming
Right, guys.
soon. Thomas
tuned.
Doherty, I swear to God, he is freaking.
There's fake
Fae.
looking people among us.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they're just hiding.
DM us,
They're in their mortal
email us.
bodies here, but then like Selena
this again.
in Throne of Glass, spoiler people. They
There we go.
Yeah, that's better.
Maybe
This
they're just
dude,
hiding
you
among us.
cannot convince me otherwise that this man is an actual human, regular man. He literally found a rip in the realm and has decided he just likes Earth and wants to live here. Thomas Doherty, I know you. You
Who
are not
would he
fooling
play?
me.
He wouldn't play anybody that you know.
I want to say
Desmond.
Desmond.
Don't play with my heart. Put him
All
in
right,
blonde
Desmond's in
hair.
what book?
Rhapsodic.
Rhapsodic.
Oh,
Put him in a
yeah.
put him in a
Highly
white wig.
recommend.
White wig. Oh my
Highly
Lord.
So
recommend.
a lot of Fae people with the silver hair, white hair.
Yes.
Yeah, what's that about?
I don't know. I've also one of the other ones I'm reading right now too. It's silver hair and violet eyes. I'm like,
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Hmm. All right.
And then gray eyes. Gray eyes have been coming out a
Yes,
lot.
gray eyes are huge.
So I wonder if it's just kind of like a fantasy trope that's
Yeah.
taking off or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wonder who was the first.
Like what's a really rare, uncommon eye color? Gray,
Gray,
violet.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, where am I?
sword
So
is
she
glowing.
sword and slashes him, and the sword begins to glow. And Lanta starts showing her what they could be together.
Yeah, doesn't he start like doing like
Mm.
sexy images in her
He's
mind?
like, but look at this. And-
Blech.
Yuck.
but Nesta snaps herself out of it and gets him back into a cell. And Cassian throws a dagger to his chest, and Nesta starts attacking him too. And they kill him, and they use the harp to transport out of the prison.
Mhm.
And then they tell Feyre and Rhys about what happened. And Rhys wants to go after the crown, but Feyre doesn't. And Rhys says that they need to secure alliances to win the war. And Eris is coming to winter solstice, and Rhys wants to use Nesta to seduce him.
My dogs are wrestling in the
Oh,
background.
that's what that was?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Which I thought was hilarious. They're like, Nesta, you're a great dancer. Can you use your beautiful dance moves? So
That's such like an old timey thing to
Yes, and
do.
it's because
Yeah.
he's not like a nice person. So it's just like
Well, Eris is kind of a dick, so
Yeah,
you would think that he would be attractive to like a feisty firecracker.
yes, but like,
Mhm.
isn't that a weird thing to say? Like, hey, you're like a mean person. Go dance nicely and like seductively.
Like,
Well, 'cause she's
don't
gorgeous.
talk. Like, don't talk, just
Like,
dance.
now,
Yeah.
but just dance provocatively in front of him.
Mhm. Okay, is this like a whole like favorite thing print like her painting like is Nesta like totally horrible at dancing? Everybody's kind of like
Exactly. Right?
She's just
Elaine was like,
hilarious.
she
She-
loved it. She loved it. She was so good. She went to all
Did you say it was like Elaine's like
Yeah.
Seinfeld dance?
No, she's saying it's like Feyre, like how everybody thought Feyre's painting was bad now.
Like,
But
it's
that's how I
bad.
imagine.
But
That's how I imagine.
yes.
It's like Elaine's like
Elaine from Seinfeld,
kicking
not
like the thumb snap.
Oh my God.
That'd be hilarious.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so now they reveal the pregnancy of Feyre at winter solstice, and Rhys gives Eris the dagger that Nesta made. Eris and Nesta dance, and he tells her not to believe all the lies that they tell about him. And he says Moore knows the truth, but has yet to reveal it because she is afraid. And we mentioned this last time, I'm pretty sure. And then Cassian's, getting all jealous, and he interrupts them and asks Nesta to dance, and he's secretly been taking dance lessons with Moore for weeks because
So sweet.
he finds out, one of her passions, and he, that's a real gentleman.
Learns.
Yes.
Yes.
He learned. He
Sweet.
danced with her.
So sweet.
And then of course, is she a bitch to him? Yeah, of course she's
Of
so.
course.
All right, this is where we find out what Cassian gave Nesta last year. It was a miniature illuminated manuscript, a first print. This year, he gives her a silver ball that plays music when she taps
A
it.
symphonia.
A rare device from Helian's court that can trap music and play it back. And Cassian had the musicians from the ball record the songs they played that night, which was just
My God,
extra
this
sweet
guy.
on top. Absolute like sprinkles of joy.
Like, I want that.
I
a
know.
gem.
He's very romantic and great in bed.
And just like a
the whole package
like a
there.
beast of a man too.
Yeah, like a Greek god, but a fae.
Like a Viking. I imagine him like a
I don't think Vikings have cute faces, so like
okay,
say
like a hot Viking.
a hot Viking is
Yeah.
better to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Then she has to go and ruin it by not accepting it. She's a fucking bitch. He tells her it's a gift, not a wedding ring, and she responded that she would look to Eris for that.
Oh, she just really knows how to like
She
Yeah.
doesn't even like Eris.
I know.
but she knows it's gonna upset him.
She's like, all right, well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking marry him.
Yeah, especially because it's him.
yeah, because of the
She's just
the
running
history
away from
with Eris.
anything
Yeah.
that'll make her happy.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't think she deserves it, and she plays the "woe is me" card.
Mm-hmm.
Self-destructive. Oliver.
All right, keep going. I'll let the dog out.
Uh, they fight, and she tells Cassian that he's too good for her, which he is, and she doesn't deserve him, and everyone knows it. And she thinks if she let herself have him, then he would be taken from her, which, I mean, I get. Like,
Yeah.
so she doesn't want to be happy with him because then, like, she thinks he's in danger. Okay. That's
Right.
selfish-ish, but
I see Jenna there in the back. Sorry.
top me off, buddy.
You're distracting.
Tell some more of Nesta's Fury, but the plain version.
Da-da-da-da.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I'm
I know, I was like, don't judge me. I'm gonna drink the live juice. And then Bob brought me.
He did. He texted me, beer's been delivered. I was like, oh,
Oh, what a good guy. Bravo.
what are you drinking now?
My own Cassian. Oh,
Aw.
it's St. Arnold Amber Ale.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh, yum.
So yeah. He didn't make me another margarita, but okay.
He went the lazy way.
He
No,
did. He just popped a can of it. For it. No, just kidding. It's a thanks, Bob. We love you.
He at least opened it.
Oh, there you go. No koozie though.
No koozie. Yeah.
All right, points are
Anyways.
deducted.
All right. So then she tells her she isn't marrying Eris, and then there will be no one else for either of them, and she agrees, and then they sex it up.
Wait, what?
Sorry.
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 So she thinks
I
like
may
she's
have
like
been-
I'm too because you were too busy walking
Oh,
around.
Cassian tells her she isn't marrying Eris. He's like, you're not doing that.
You're not doing it.
Oh, that's when he does that big
just me and you forever. There is no one else.
Right. That's when he does that big speech. There's no one else for us. It's just, I love it.
That was really sweet.
Like an angry, impassioned speech. I love that.
I know it's like yelling at her, like, I fucking love you. Shut up. You're married. Like, it's not romantic to say that, but it is romantic.
Right. Like it's a forceful thing, but like you want it to be like that.
Yeah, I want everything forceful from him. I do. Right? She's busy. But no, seriously, like, doesn't it sound delicious?
I mean, yeah, it's like it shouldn't be, but it is.
Like, I
And
don't
that's
want
what makes it
Reese
even
to
more
be
appealing.
forceful with me. I want Cassian to be forceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Azriel, I don't know yet. I think I would take.
I'm hoping we
He's like
find
a
out.
quiet dom. I think he's like a sneaky dom.
That's a little scary.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh,
You want that? Is that
Sorry.
what you're pucking around us about?
Oh.
Ew, gross. The quiet guy is really hot, covered in tattoos, and he's a dom.
What is it, like 50 Shades?
Oh.
Kind of. Not so well, I'm 3/4 of the way. So kind of. Anyway, that's for later. Let's
That's for on the nightstand.
that's for our other segment.
All right. So after their lovely sex, Cassian leaves for his annual snowball fight, and then to inspect the legions in Illyria for 3 days. So he invites Emery and Gwen over for a house slumber party, which was cute.
So
and they have friendship
cute.
bracelets, which is
I do
adorable.
like this. I do like that.
Like she actually has like girlfriends, and it's sad that she can't like be nice to her sisters and do all this fun stuff. But she has girls.
But I
that
did think that sleepover was super cute.
it was adorable.
Yeah. I'm happy that they had that. Like
It was a
that
good
camaraderie.
camaraderie.
Like maybe she just can't feel like that bond with her sisters yet because of all the trauma she went through or whatever.
it's got a
So
nice
she
little
has to
bubble.
find like friendship outside, which is fine. Whatever.
They have their own trauma, those girls too.
Oh,
so.
they do. They really do.
Mhm.
All right. So then Cassian returns and Gwen cuts the ribbon, then Emery, then Nesta. And then Cassian sets up an obstacle course that changes every night. And it takes them 2 months to finally complete it, which is basically the blood right qualifier. And Lord Devlin was trying to witness it. So this allows them to take part in the blood right if they want to. Also, during this time, Azriel and Gwen have some moments.
I think I like Azriel and Gwen. I think it's less complicated because of the whole Lucian thing. And I think it's less like cliche, like all three brothers have
Yes.
three sisters and they're
Agreed.
all dead. And, you know,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I agree.
it's a little less
But
cheesy.
Lucian, I feel like is never going to be with Elaine. I
No,
feel like it's
I
not
know.
going to happen.
I don't
And
see that
feel
coming.
So bad for him.
we need Lucian to have some sort of happy ending because it's just pathetic.
It's sad and living in the human world.
And there's literally nothing wrong with Lucian.
There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
him.
He's a great
Aside
guy.
from like helping Tamlin here and there, he
Yeah.
was still
Like,
a better
But
person.
before Feyre, Tamlin wasn't like terrible.
No,
Yeah.
no. And Lucian, left him and has been making amends and proving
Hmm.
himself to be loyal and all
Right.
that and doing good things. And
Mhm.
what do they call themselves?
The
Oh,
The
man.
outcast,
something
something.
band of misfits or something like
Yes,
that.
Yeah,
something crazy
something
like
like that.
that.
That was funny.
Oh gosh. All right. Nesta in the butt.
Nesta finally makes it to the bottom of this. Here's her final
Woohoo.
test for herself. And then Nessa and Cassian go to the Starfall party and she apologizes to Amryn, which, whatever.
Yeah.
I've never been like a huge Amryn fan or more fan, but
I liked Amryn in the beginning, but then kind of like in this book, because she was really mean to
very mean.
Nesta, I kind of
Mhm.
like, I don't know, kind of turned off by her. And then more too, because she kind of disappeared there for a while
Yeah,
and then it got kind of
Very,
sketchy. Like,
very suspicious.
I don't know. I
there's
don't know
something
about
happening there
more.
though.
Be
I
suspicious.
liked her in the beginning, but now again,
No,
just
I think we talked about it last episode how we think that she could be like a spy or some
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
double
mhm,
crossing.
double
Yeah.
agent.
There's something going on that we don't
Hmm.
know about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so then Nesta and Cassian receive a letter from Eris demanding to see them and meet them in the middle, which is the sacred mountain that Rhysand was trapped under.
Mm.
And there's three peaks, and I think Cassian is explaining it to Nesta at this point, and I guess it's like more of like a refresher for us, which is that the middle is one of the peaks, the prison is another, and Ramiel, right? Um,
Ramiel. Ramiel.
Ramiel, they're all bald and barren, and two out of the three have an underground palace that's carved into them. And apparently, none of the Illyrians have ever checked what's underneath Ramiel. So obviously,
Why
that means
would
there's
you
something
do
there.
that? Why
I
would you?
don't know.
Why
It
would?
was like too big.
Like
Eh,
it's setting stuff up for
yeah.
sure.
And
So
Ramiel's the one that you have to climb to do the blood right.
Yes.
yes.
So they're like, well,
So
we already have to go to the top. Why do we have to figure out what's inside of it?
that's weird though.
But you would
Especially if
think
the
they
other
would
two
want to
already
know
have
all
it.
aspects
Wouldn't
of it.
exactly. So I'm wondering if there's more to come. I'm sure there's more to come, but I
She's
wonder
the
where it's
most
gonna lead
detailed
us.
writer ever, so I'm sure.
And she sits on it for like a decade.
Right.
Yeah. So that you kind of forget about it and you're like, oh, there we go.
Maxie in the face when it's finally revealed.
Yeah. So let's see. So then Eris reveals that his father visited the continent again and believes that the fallout is approaching. He also warns them not to go after the crown because Braylon could use it on them and turn them against each other. Cassian and Nesta then go for a walk and he confronts her on why she is so
Mm.
scared to admit that they are mates. But I don't really remember him like coming out and saying like, hey, we're mates, right? But I think it's just that
I,
whole aspect of
I,
having a mate that they're
I think
talking
he was
I
about.
think he
alluding
did.
to
No,
it,
I
and
think
then eventually he says it
I think
towards the end, right before blood, right? I
I
think
think
he
he
says
scream.
it.
I think yeah, right before the blood right, he like screams at her. He's like, "What are you so like? We're mates," and he like
Oh,
screams it at her.
But she's also like, I'm not down with this like Fey language that you guys talk.
right,
No, but like if
right.
you remember, like one time they were having sex, like the way she wrote it, they like there was like a soul tying like thing that feeling that happened between them, and like didn't he like get tears in his eyes or something, and like
Mm.
Mhm.
um. So like obviously they're mated and she just didn't accept it. I don't know.
Well, she doesn't feel the mating bond. He feels
She
it.
does.
So,
She just doesn't admit it.
well,
Like
Feyre
she
didn't
denies
feel
it,
it
right?
until Rhys then said we're mates.
Mm,
Now she
true.
knows what that is. So maybe Nessa doesn't know what that feels like.
She always felt the tug and she always thought it was the bargain tattoo.
Right,
Oh,
but
that's
she
right.
knows. So maybe I'm saying Nessa
She because
also
she didn't
doesn't know
understand.
specifically
Hmm.
what it feels
I
like.
think that she's in major denial.
I mean,
Oh,
totally.
for sure. For sure.
Major denial about it.
Hmm.
Um, I know that she did say that she thought that she'd lose the last bit of her humanity
Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
by
mhm.
admitting the whole mating thing
That's true.
too. So
That's true.
Which it's like,
I
I
get
mean,
that.
but
yeah.
why? I mean, you marry someone and you want to be mated for life with that person,
Mhm.
married, mated, whatever. It's a similar concept. It's just
What's
deeper.
funny is like if it was whole like if this whole thing was a real thing and like we're human and we're like, oh cool, we get it. Like I think we would be excited about it, but
Yeah.
Right.
So
because we know
it's
what it leads to, maybe like she has no clue and like she doesn't really know of the whole. I mean, now she's learning, right? But
Mm,
all your life that you were told that these were like bad people, and then now
true.
you're mated to one of them. I'm like, oh,
True.
I guess I can see why, but I really
I
want her to just admit it at this point.
Now,
yeah.
are we so tangent here because I'm reading Air of Fire, Throne of
Mm-mm.
Glass series, and the way
Mm,
she depicts Fae in that series
hmm.
is that they're really mean
Okay.
and like brutal and like ruthless and aggressive towards humans. Are we saying in this universe, because I know you say that they're all like tied in
Mm.
together, are are we just like so happy and in love because we're so attracted to like Rhys and Cassian and we're just
No.
blinded to how mean they are to other people? Or
No. So I think in Throne of Glass, you eventually like discovered that like there was a time period where humans and Fae were friendly with one another, and then there was like war and everything, and then they, the Fae like had to go into hiding and disappear, and when you do see them,
Mhm.
they're like angry and things like that. And some like stay in their animal form to avoid human,
Mm.
yada yada
Okay.
yada. So yeah, they're the same. But it's just like different
It's like when Rowan's walking down the street, like I just got to him, and all the humans are
Oh
like
shit.
hiding from
So
him,
sorry.
all like cowering in the corner. They're all like cowering from him.
Well, he's got a reputation for
Well, he's
being
like
like
Yeah.
covered up too, like from
he's
the neck
tat
down.
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Um yeah, he's got a reputation for being like a badass
Like about, yeah.
warrior for like a literal like century or
I
something.
know he's
Like
fucking old.
millennia. I don't know
Hmm.
how freaking old like he's like 1,000 years
It
old.
doesn't matter.
Well, he said he was older. He's
How boring
older
is
than his
life for a
older
thousand
than her
years?
I
grandma,
know, right?
than Aylin's grandma.
Yeah. Like
He said, "I've
the
been
same
fighting war
shit.
since before your
Oh,
grandma was born."
Can you
That's what he
imagine
said.
like isn't life really boring after 1,000 years?
You would think. That's what I'm saying about Vampire Diaries too. Like at a certain point, like you lived a lot. It's okay,
yeah. No wonder there's only war. I mean, like,
God, there's nothing else to do. Might as well.
right?
what else are you gonna,
You
yeah.
may as well kill people.
That's
Yeah.
all. It's like fighting or fucking. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Makes sense.
All right,
Oh
major
God.
tangents. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. All
I
right.
can't wait till we get into Throne of Glass, by the
Oh,
way.
I know.
Excellent.
It
I'm
is
so excited.
excellent.
It
I
is
love that you
excellent.
said it's excellent. Yes, it
It
is.
is.
I
It's
know. I'm so happy you've met Rowan.
oh, I want him to not be a dick, but
He's a major dick right now. She's at that
It's
point.
okay. We like that. We like that.
like
Okay, I like that.
He punched Aelin in the
punch you
face.
right in the face.
I was like, okay, I get it, but he's trying to make her shift, like make her so angry that she shifts into her Fae form. So he's not really doing it to be
I mean, she
mean.
didn't say a nice thing to him. She said, I'm sorry, listeners, but she did spoiler for the fourth book or third book in the series, whatever. I can't remember if Assassin's Blade comes first. Anyway, she says, maybe the king is onto something with like his plan against the Fae, and then he went popped her right in the mouth. Oh, okay. I mean, she didn't say anything nice, so
Well, she's an assassin, right? So, like, okay,
Right.
yeah.
It's nothing she hasn't taken before.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Mm,
All right.
Anyways,
Back to Silver Flames Part 2.
right, Nesta, total bitch. Okay. Uh,
Poor cat.
but Cassian does get a little punch here. He tells her he didn't get a choice in being shackled to her either, which ends up hurting her.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Don't cry, hurt feelings, miss, when you're
Mhm.
saying all this shit.
you're dishing it
Okay.
out. You got
You
to take
can't
some of
take-
it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true.
So then she finally gets so pissed that she calls in her favor and demands that he leave for the House of Wind and not speak to her until she comes back to talk to him or a week has passed. So doesn't this kind of like remind you of the whole mate situation when Feyre found out from the cereal, right?
Yep. And she goes
Even
to the cottage, the mountain,
uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah, they're
Even
all
more winnows, like I think yeah, more winnows, her and Emery and Gwyn, and they all spend the night together. Like
Mhm.
it's the whole like kind of setup again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So kind of interesting parallels. But then unfortunately, Nesta wakes up to someone in her room and something is placed over her mouth, rendering her unconscious. So, dun dun dun.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah. So, Rhysand and Cassian head to Emery's and find them all missing. It turns out that Devlin started the blood right early and snatched the three from their beds. Because I think at this point they passed the obstacle course, which allowed them to do the blood right, but they still had to say whether they were going to or not. And this basically didn't give them a chance. They just
Mhm.
were forced into it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
kind of shitty. So Nesta finally wakes up and she's surrounded by other unconscious Illyrians. She goes looking for the girls, specifically Gwen first. I think it's Gwen. And so oddly enough, the charm bracelets or the friendship bracelets that they made start to glow, and she knows that it's leading her towards the girls, which is a kind of cool little detail, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
convenient.
cute.
Yeah, it's like a little like
Made me find
like a friendship homing beacon,
Yeah.
right?
But I
Yeah.
wonder too, because Nesta's maid and she has these, like when she was forging the dagger and the sword, like is it also that sort of thing? Like anything that she makes magical now?
Oh, that was
You know?
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Huh.
Just a
huh.
thought.
Huh.
But only she has like power like that. So that's
Yeah.
like her
Yeah,
Wouldn't
crap.
yeah, it wouldn't be Gwen or Emery.
No.
Yeah.
no.
But I'm saying like Elaine doesn't have that.
No.
And she's
Mm-mm.
made.
No,
But also
Lane had stuff.
Nesta took from the cauldron
Right.
too, so she's a little bit
Clawing.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She took whatever the heck it was. I don't know.
Clawed her way out of there and grabbing.
Okay, so Nesta runs into some warriors and overhears them talking and realizes that Emery escaped by jumping in the river. And so she follows the river and finds her on a fallen rock or fallen tree, and she was unconscious.
Oh yeah.
And then from there, they find a cave and this other Illyrian, Baltazar, and he ends up like sharing the cave. Like he was actually not planning on killing them or fighting them or anything like that, and they share the cave. And he
Mhm.
knows who Nesta is and swears that he's not going to kill her, which
Yeah, I was
is
really
kind
worried
of
about
cool.
that.
Yeah, yeah, especially because they needed some shelter and
Yeah, because
well,
there's like demon animal thingies
yes,
out there too,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
In addition to all the warriors that are out there, there's also these creatures that can hunt and kill them at night.
Yeah.
So,
And like you
That's
hear like the
fun.
screaming or whatever that they're making. That was weird.
right.
That was
Mm.
creepy.
So Nesta and Emery find a camp, like they wake up the next morning, they survived. They find a camp full of males and Gwen's nightgown, but it turns out to be a trap. So they're grabbed by the warriors that are there, and the leader is Bellius, I think that's how you pronounce his name, which turns out to be Emery's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
But his eyes are glassy, just like the Autumn soldiers were, and they believe he's under control of the crown.
So
So
Briellen is controlling him, right?
controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then a creature which was part cat, part serpent attacks the camp.
That
And
sounds
Gwen,
awful.
I know, I'm like, I was
Sounds
trying to
They
picture like
cast
what
it.
that would look like. Like, is it a serpent head with a cat body? Or is it a cat head with a serpent body? Like, how does this
Oh, either
work?
way,
Ugh.
creepy.
No thanks.
I know, I'm like, serpent
I
anything?
know.
No.
Sounds terrible.
Cats also know.
Yeah, exactly.
The cats with the yellow green eyes freak me out.
Oh, I know.
I don't like any
I
of
don't
those.
like that.
Yeah. Ugh. So we can agree
Sorry,
that
cat
that cat
lovers.
probably has that.
Sorry,
Don't
cat.
stop listening to us if you
Sorry.
like cats. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We don't hate cats, just cats with
No.
weird eyes.
Sorry.
So Gwen appears and the girls run to her while the men fight the creature. So basically, Gwen led this creature thing to the camp, which was pretty cool because it took care of the
Took
warriors
care of
that were
the
there.
mean
Yeah,
old men.
yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you. So then, meanwhile, all this is happening. Eris has been captured and taken to Breolin, and Azriel and Cassian go to get him back. They end up, I don't know, they find him like riding on a horse with the queen, and he has Nesta's dagger, so they assume he isn't under control of the crown because I forget, is it like um if he has the thing, I don't remember. Something about the dagger like prevents him from being under control fully because it's made and the crown's made
I
and he has
forget.
it in
That's so
possession.
complicated.
It
Yeah.
it, it was getting a
Hmm.
little wild here for
But
me.
yeah, they think that
Yeah.
he's like a traitor, right? He's like,
Yes, they
yeah.
still thought that he betrayed him. And I kind of at this point was like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he's sus.
he
I mean, he's
says.
still sus. Sus forever.
Yeah.
So as Nesta and Gwyn and Emery are, like fighting for their lives on this mountain, Gwyn shares her very traumatic story of how
Mm.
Commander
Oh,
from Hybern's army raped her 2 years ago as he held her down on a table. Hybern attacked during that night, and she shared a room with her sister Katrin, I think, who is how you pronounce it, who ordered
I
her to
think so.
go and protect the children.
yeah.
And it was her twin sister, correct?
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, twin.
Hmm.
So she hid the children in the catacomb tunnels. The soldiers came and took her and her sister. She lied when they asked where the children were. So the commander then grabbed her sister and threatened to kill her if she didn't tell him. She still refused. So he beheaded her sister and then I think raped her first and allowing his soldiers to do the same to the other women there. So again, why Rhys and Azriel are so amazing for going and
Yeah.
saving these women and bringing them to like a little refuge and where no one will bother them. They could just read books and be quiet and pray all day.
Yeah.
After that, the commander then ordered 3 of his soldiers to do the same to Gwyn until she told the truth. But before they could, that's when Azrael arrived and killed them all.
Thank God.
And then
Hmm.
more with her healing powers healed her and brought her to the library as we know it.
So sad. Like your twin sister is just.
Ugh.
I know. And then in front of you and oh.
And then Emery shares her story. She had a dickhead of a dad and he beat her.
Mhm.
He beat her mother to death and then made Emery dig her grave. What kind of monster?
That story.
Hmm.
I was so. Oh,
And then he told the town or whatever it was that she had died of blood loss from a miscarriage and that's it. People don't be like, oh, he's kind of a dick and everybody always had a black eye around him. But sure, we
Yeah.
believe this.
right.
Not sus at all.
I guess just believe the men.
Then Nesta shares her story with the girls, which, sorry, but Emery's and Gwen's sounds
Way
like a
worse.
way
Oh
worse.
yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, I'm sorry, you're a fae now. Huh. You have powers.
You were broke and you were poor, and your
Yeah.
sister did all the fucking work.
Yeah.
But whatever.
All right, her mom died fine. Okay, sorry. I still think Feyre had it
It's
worse.
still not as bad. I mean, as being raped and your sister being beheaded. It's not
Yes.
as-
Right.
in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah.
Not that we're comparing traumas here, but
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
I think
Trauma,
I think Gwen's kind of like, woohoo.
Right. Yeah. Jeez Louise. Okay. So Nesta, Gwen, and Emery are 2/3 of the way up the mountain when they see the others gaining on them, including that jerk Bellius. The girls make it to the pass of Enulus, I think it's pronounced, but the males are catching up. So there's different places you can pass and signifies different levels of an Illyrian you can get to. So Nesta says she will hold them off while Emery and Gwen make it to the full climb. Emery is hurt at this point and insists they fight together, but Nesta knocks her out so Emery can carry her up, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cut back to Eris real quick. And I always picture Klaus.
Oh,
when I
right,
picture
right.
Eris.
Yeah.
So just angry Klaus face.
Yeah. Angry face.
From Vampire Diaries for anybody who's watched that. So cut back to Eris. When Eris refers to Moore as the Morrigan, they realize he is truly under Briallen's control. They follow Briallen and Eris to the lake, but the cloaked figure of Briallen is actually an illusion. It's just a kernel of magic. And then creepy Cochet appears. Briallen is wearing the crown and she starts controlling Cassian, which is terrible.
This was awful.
Terrible.
I was at work listening to this. I was like, what is happening? What is happening?
I think I was driving in the back seat listening to this part as we were going to meet you all, actually.
Oh my God.
Hilarious. So meanwhile, Nesta's kicking ass and killing warriors until there's only Bellius left. And Emery and Gwen make it to the very top of the mountain. They have to touch the stone. They touch it at the same time, and it immediately winnows them out. And they're safe and happy, and they're woohoo! They're Illyrian soldiers, Valkyries, whatever they are.
Yeah.
So Nesta ends up fighting Bellius in hand-to-hand combat, and then Cassian appears and kills him. Then he hugs Nesta and tells her he's going to slit her throat. He's obviously under control of the crown and can't fight against it. And then Briallen is also there. Nesta realizes Briallen is the one who made it, so Nesta would be here to the right. So Briallen had arranged everything to make it that Nesta's there so she could kill Nesta, basically.
Very detailed plan there for her to get her there, don't you think?
Super elaborate. Super elaborate.
Out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brianne also made sure that Nesta knew about the troves so she could help her find them. So Brianne's just like using people left and right. Nesta can summon the items and Brianne needs that. So Brianne has Cassian attack Nesta and orders him to kill her. Cassian gains back some of his control. Like I think she describes it like she could see like in his eyes he's trying not to. So it's
eye contact her, and he's like almost like looking at her saying like, I'm sorry. I love you. I don't want to do this.
So as he's like fighting against this like mind control, he turns the dagger on himself. And that's when Nesta erupts in her like silverly flames behind her eyes, the power of the cauldron, and reduces Briallen to nothing but ash.
Why, if Briallen is like so powerful, like why wouldn't Briallen see that coming?
I don't think she'd see.
Not like see it coming, future, but like you don't sense.
Like, why couldn't she
like predict that Nesta would have fucking flipped out like
just
that?
taken? Well, it's true.
Right?
Plot holes.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't know the full extent of her power, but.
True.
So I don't think so. So Cassian is unharmed. Nesta has unmade Briallen, and Nesta finally accepts and says it out loud that Cassian is her mate.
This is when I audibly gasped at work. I was listening. I had my headphones in, and I'm listening. And it was lunch, and I gasped. And there's like 4 people, and they all turned to me like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "I'm sorry. I was listening to my book."
They're mates. They're mates.
It just shit keeps flying after this, and I just left the room, and I had to sit in the hallway by myself.
It goes happy. Hey, she finally admits their mates to shit's gone wrong. And Feyre's in trouble. She's not supposed to give birth for months, and she starts bleeding. The baby is wedged in the birth canal. Feyre tells them to cut the baby out of her, which seems like a C-section. Why can't that happen? They could heal people left and right, but
we haven't mastered the C-section by now.
Right.
No.
Very against that.
No. Okay. So she said, cut the baby out, even if it'll kill me, which then also kills Rhys, because they made that death promise. So they cut the baby out, but it's too small, and Feyre is starting to die. I think the baby didn't even cry, right? Nesta knows Feyre is dying, and she puts the crown and the mask on while simultaneously holding her up. She doesn't even tell anybody. She just does it.
Does it.
Yeah. Walks
like
creepily.
your sister. Like your sister's dying in front of you, and you're like, okay, hold on.
So no one has ever in the history of this world wielded all 3 at the same time and lived. Nexa plucks the final harp string, the 26th string, and the string is time itself. Nesta stops it as Feyre takes her last breath. She can feel death around Feyre and Rhys and the baby, but she holds it at bay. She goes to Feyre, covering her body with her own, and tells her that she loves her. She's chills. I know, I got chills too as I said it. She says if it shows her how to save Feyre, then the cauldron can have everything back that she took from it.
That was finally a selfless act by her.
Yeah.
So time resumes, and light begins flowing through Nesta's body into Feyre's, and also into the baby that Moore's holding. So Nesta had made a bargain with the cauldron. So it's like still like up in the air. Like she had promised to give it back. Does that mean she has any powers left?
No power, or just like regular Fae power. Not the extra that she took from the cauldron.
Yeah. And then you wrote a note here, Dina. Cassian said that a luminescent hand prevents all the light from leaving Nesta's body. I have no idea what that means. I don't know.
I don't know.
Remember that.
So when I was looking up the summary, apparently that's one thing that happened. And so I'm like, I don't remember, but I was also listening and crying at the same time. So I
Right.
could have possibly missed this.
Yeah.
But basically he's saying like she still has some power left. Like the cauldron didn't take back everything
Mm.
with the bargain.
Hmm.
So I guess
Interesting.
we'll find out maybe if she really does.
Well,
So Feyre wakes up. She's alive. She's no longer bleeding. She tells Nesta that she heard her and she loves her too. And the baby starts crying. The baby's
Ugh.
alive and healthy. Nesta made sure to give Feyre Illyrian anatomy now when she made that deal with the cauldron. So
yeah, she did. She just took it all. She was like, all right.
Yeah.
so that if she gets pregnant again, that'll never happen again. Nesta has also changed her own anatomy so that if and when she has a baby with Cassian, same thing won't happen.
It's like all of a sudden she's a happy, lovey-dovey person.
Yeah.
I know.
It only took, the people she loved dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rhysand, who had been screaming at the top of his lungs that whole time, which
God,
destroyed my soul.
it was heart-shattering.
So I think he falls to his knees in front of and like clutches onto like Nesta's legs and just starts crying and thanking her. And they named the baby Nyx. I don't know where they got that from. I think it was like a god name. It was after a god, an ancient god they had said. So Emery and Gwen are healed. Baron tortured Eris, which is terrible. His dad tortured his own son to find out about his rescue, but Eris didn't tell him anything, which, wow, way to prove yourself, Eris.
I was like, hey, good job.
Yeah.
But
And that's why I keep saying, like, I want a redemption story for Eris more than I want it for Tamlin. Because at least Eris is doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
it's just he's more out and about now than Tamlin is.
Yes. Tamlin's just like in beast form, like eating rabbits or something. I don't
I
know.
wasn't even eating for a while. Rebbe.
So even though Briallyn is gone now, Cochet is still out there and he's still a threat. And so they're worried that he will form an alliance with Baron. Nesta tells Cassian that she loves him and she wants him and she wants a fancy, like elaborate, like mating ceremony. Rhys gifts Cassian and Nesta the House of Wind so she can forever have a house that gives her dirty, smutty books and food and wine.
That is cool.
I'm okay with that.
Right? It's a great gift.
I want that.
Great gift. Feyre gives Nesta a mating present. It's a portrait of Nesta at the Pass of Ennulus, which, she had made it to. They go to visit their father's grave together for the first time. So it's like a little bit of closure there, which is really nice. Me and Dina, did you read the bonus chapter of Azriel for this book? Did you read it?
No.
I sent it to you both months ago. I said, look what I found, because we didn't have it in our books or in the Audible. So I read it. So I highly suggest it. I don't know why, because before I read it, I always saw like those little like spoilers about it, like on Instagram.
Oh, maybe
we're like, oh, he like gave the necklace away, and I'll explain it. But once I read it, I was like, that wasn't that bad. I thought was fine. So here's a little. Relax. You and your sounds. Okay. So basically his bonus stories are Azriel, it's like solstice night. They all had exchanged gifts. Azriel can't sleep. They're all spending the night, like all of them, in the river house after the celebration. So he's like, it's like 2 a.m. or something in the middle of the night. He goes to like get himself like something to eat or drink. And he stumbles into Elaine. So Elaine was going to sneak a present that she didn't want to give Azriel in front of everybody, aka Cosolution, on Azriel's pile of presents. So he would find it later privately. And she's like, oh, well, I was going to give this to you, but, I was just going to leave it there. But so he opens it and it's really sweet. It's earplugs because
I did read this
because of all the sex that Nesta and Cassian are having. So that was hilarious. So as they are exchanging gifts, they're talking, he starts to smell that she's like turned on by him. And, like they've always had like little flirty flirts here and there.
Oh, yeah.
they kind of like have like an eye locking moment. She leans in, closes her eyes. He's about to kiss her. And then all of a sudden, Rhys's angry voice from the steps is like, Azriel, in my office now. And
Damn
which
it,
I was
Rhysand.
like a little mad at Rhysand. I'm like,
I
you don't
know.
get to tell somebody he
Cock
can't.
block.
Yeah.
What a cock block,
Like,
right?
I get it. Like, you don't want to like
Well,
Lucian has the right to like kill Azriel for that. I get it. But like, and he wants to
also
keep the peace.
it's like what you said. It's a cliche, and it just so happens that Nesta and Cassian are working out well together now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't mess with this family dynamic you got going on. What if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said,
Don't live in the house together, for God's sakes.
Rhysand says that activating that could trigger a blood duel. So sorry.
Bless you.
Could shatter alliances and cause greater conflict. So Azrael's just like pissed off. He's like, you don't like think I like deserve her. I think he said like something to the effect of like, you have Feyre, Cassian has Nesta, like, don't I deserve someone? And then Rhys says like something not so nice. And he's like, you think you deserve her? I'm like, of course he does.
He's being protected by his sister.
So he's upset. He flies in the middle of the night to the House of the Wind, where he sees on the roof Gwyn is practicing and she's trying to cut that damn ribbon and all that stuff. They talk for a little bit. He calms down. They talk like traditions and things like that. And anyway, like nothing really happens and it's just like nice. Oh, I think she asked like, they call you the shadow singer. Does that mean you sing? And he says, I do.
Oh, wait.
So that was like really cute. And she's like, oh, I really enjoy singing like during like our mass ceremonies and things like that. So like eventually like he walks away, right? And goes down the stairwell and he hears like singing behind him and yada, yada, yada. So he goes to Clotho at the library the next day. And he just like impulsively was like, you know what? Like she didn't have anybody at Solstice. She was alone. I bet like she would like this necklace. Because when he woke up, right, the next morning, Elaine, because I guess she didn't understand like why he like backed off and didn't kiss her. Elaine was like offended. So Elaine had returned the necklace that Azriel had given her.
I don't remember this part.
So I think the necklace was like this really beautiful. Oh, it had like roses on it. It had like all these flowers. It was like stained glass, like tiny stained glass with roses. And she had originally loved it, and she asked him to put it on her, and he was like, he's like, oh, I was touching her, yada yada. And like I guess after he didn't kiss her, she was like pissed and was like, oh, whatever, and like returned it like outside of his room or something. So he's like, okay. So he just like was like, okay, Gwen's alone. I'm going to like leave this with Clotho. And he's like, don't tell her it's from me. Just like leave it for her as a gift. So I didn't think that was that bad. Like,
I think it's the whole regifting thing that people were mad about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Especially like the whole, like it's kind of like picked out for Elaine with the whole roses and spring and
yeah.
I could see, but it wasn't like this horrible gesture.
No, it wasn't horrible. It was a typical man.
Yeah. He doesn't think much of it.
Right. He's like, they'll like children.
But the girls.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then Nyx, I remember because there is another bonus chapter where it's just like Feyre and Rhys talking about the baby and before they gave birth. And Rhys came up with the idea for the name Nyx, even though it was originally a goddess's name and the baby was a boy. Nyx means the goddess of night, which is the night court. And they're like, it'd be good for a boy too. And so that was that. It was just like a cutesy chapter.
That is cute. Okay.
Right?
That is cute. Yeah.
I don't think we did a listener engagement poll specifically for this book, but we did do one for our Lucian recast. Recast
didn't go so well though.
Yeah. So like, listen,
it's hard.
Like I said, like majority.
I even asked like AI. I was like, give me some like hot, redheaded actors. Couldn't you? Like not many.
I couldn't do it for you.
It was not working.
So, like we said before, our ACOTAR fan cast majority very well received, but also a lot of comments saying Lucian, we missed it. So we missed the mark on that.
I think you're just gonna have to dye someone's hair for that.
I know.
who you like.
Because Lucian Helion is dark skin and his mom is
Mhm.
not, so he's like, of a
A
mixed
mix.
color. So everybody's like, he's not a ginger. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
but
but it's
like
like anyone with red hair.
he's red hair,
Right.
It's
russet
got to be
color,
fake now.
red hair and russet color eyes, which is just like a honey brown or whatever. Anyway, I had put up Isha Blacker, which holy crap, so glad I
Fucking
discovered.
hot.
So
Hmm.
happy I discovered that human's alive. So
My
hot.
God.
KJ Appa, which like I Googled these. These are like people's like choices like all over the internet.
Mm.
And he's not like a dark skinned male, but he's got red hair and everybody loves him. And then Boo Boo Stewart, which one of our followers said, I can only see Boo Boo as Rune from the character in Crescent City, which is another
Mm.
jam book. So I was like, okay, you're right. I could see that. Never mind. So total Isha was 15%, KJ 33, Boo Boo 13.
Oh,
And then another poll, another little option was I said keep searching, and that was 38. So that's the
That's it.
so
We didn't
we
hit
have to keep searching.
still.
It's
I know that
hard.
there's been a lot of like push for Brendan Fraser's son because he's like fire redhead, but
I
I
don't
don't know.
I don't see it.
I'm not
Mm.
loving it,
I
but
don't love it
see, that's
either.
the hard part.
Yeah.
People want to go with someone who's truly redheaded, but girls change their hair all
You
the
don't
time.
have to. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of think of
They're
like
white guys.
Game of Thrones where the
Yes.
Targaryens like they're
Mhm.
Yeah, they don't have
yeah.
that.
They don't have white hair.
No.
Hmm. Hmm. So, yeah.
Henry Cavill in The
Need help.
Witcher, everybody loves him in that. He has white hair and gray eyes. That's not real.
Yeah.
That's not real,
Right.
people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
guys. Fantasy. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
So help us find a Lucian
Yes, exactly.
solution.
Yes, please.
We can't make our Netflix series until we have Lucian. So come on, guys.
So we gave this book a 4 goblet rating, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I would have given it a 5er, as I did, Wings and Ruin and Mist and Fury. But it's just like I'm just not a Nesta person, so that's just me personally.
So
made me too
she
mad.
didn't redeem herself at all, even though she saved Feyre's life.
No, did she do a great thing in the end? Yes, but
I felt like she
it
was
was like
pressured into it. Like
it was like the last 2% of the book. She was like an asshole 98% of the time, and so like granted,
so finally
he
when her
saved
sister's
lives.
dying, then she has to be a nice person. Why couldn't she be nice
Yeah.
before that? Why does it take something so dramatic where you're like gonna lose
To
some?
finally.
Yeah,
And it's such a big book too. Like you
Yeah.
would think more of the percentage of the book would be the better half of her, but
No.
it's not.
I needed a little bit more of goodness peeking in.
Mm.
Because it wasn't even like it was like 3 steps forward, 1 step back.
Mm.
It was like a half a step forward, 3 steps back, like all the
Like
time
10
with
steps
her.
back.
Yeah.
So it was just it was just hard
Anytime
for
she
me.
talked to Cassian, like, don't open your mouth, girl.
She's trying to be nice. Just if
Yeah.
you can't be nice too, just be quiet
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Don't have anything.
Accept it.
Okay.
Shut up.
Shut
Shut up.
it.
Shut up.
Okay, so our segment, go for it, Dina.
Okay, on the nightstand segment. This is a little section where we briefly discuss any books that are on our nightstand or TBR list. So, what are you girls reading right now, or what do you have planned to read?
I just like, so I was here earlier with Jenna and I was reading Fourth Wing. And I finished
Graphic audio.
Yeah, sorry, I was doing
Ooh.
graphic audio. And I finished the first half. So then mid car ride. So then I quickly at a red light, like purchase a second book. And I was like, because it ends, thank you. Because
Yeah.
it ended with like the little dragon,
And Darna.
And Darna?
Arna, and it was like freezing. Everybody in the room was trying to kill her. Sorry, spoiler alert. Total spoiler alert, guys.
That's okay.
And I was just like, what the fuck? Everybody's frozen. Like, next.
So
That's really good.
make sure you have some nice time sectioned off for yourself because book 2 is so spicy.
Spicy.
And what's amazing is it's graphic audio, so it's like a movie. So it's not like one person pretending to do a male's voice. It's 2 people talking, and it's good. It's good.
Okay,
But don't you
Zayden.
like That's one thing that bothers me about the graphic audio. One, if
Oh,
I'm also reading along, I can't
Mhm.
ever find what chapter I'm on. But
yes,
Yeah.
you
two,
cannot.
there's multiple parts. Like you have to purchase two books instead of
Mhm.
Always.
one.
It's
Yeah.
always two.
That is a bummer. But
I did get the first one for $3 or $4. And that's
Oh,
what I
that's
did.
good.
Because she had the book and I was like, I'd rather just read it. I want to buy two of these again. But it
Yeah.
was like $3.
well, and you should read my book because I have the Zayden bonus chapter in it.
I went
Ah,
where I was in the graphic
Yeah,
audio.
it's
I was like,
impossible.
parts. But if you do it on Spotify, people, the graphic audio on Spotify, they give you the chapters.
Oh,
You
ooh,
have to
good
pay
to
for it on
know.
Spotify. Like you have to
Oh,
pay the subscription for
oh,
Spotify,
I
everybody.
bet there's like a Reddit forum that
There is,
has
I
it.
looked,
yeah.
I have no idea how to read it. It's
Some
1 to 1, 2 to 7. I was like, what do these numbers mean? I don't understand. It is gibberish.
That's hilarious.
You should look it up. Honestly, it makes no sense to me. I was like,
Mm,
So
so where's
funny.
part 6?
So funny.
All right.
It's about to get so good.
Okay.
You're
So that's
so
what I'm reading.
welcome. You're so
That's what I'm
welcome.
reading. And whatever.
Dina, go into what you're reading.
So right now I'm reading a Crown of Star and Ash by Victoria Taylor, which we're actually going to have her on our pod pretty soon. I'm
Mid January.
about almost halfway through. I'm really liking it. I'm looking forward to the novella that she also has out. I think it's The
I have
Lady of the Fire and
yeah,
Light.
I have
Oh,
that
okay.
novella.
So I think that one is a novella based on one of the characters. So I'm interested to find out what happens to that character that led to a novella, and I'm a little
Hmm.
nervous about it. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. So
Okay.
I think I will definitely be looking forward to the second book of it.
Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, my husband got me a Kindle Paperwhite with
Yay.
Kindle Unlimited membership for my
Woo.
birthday. So I'm really excited about it. You know me, I'm listening to and reading multiple things. So I'm almost done pucking around.
I
So
can't. I'm
Is
not.
this
Like I
this is audio though, right? Pucking around
this
is
is
your
on
audio?
Audible. Yeah.
Okay.
I accidentally almost started playing it. Pucking Around by Emily Rath. Um, don't listen to it or slash read it unless you're into the 90% smut of a book. Small
No
plot.
plot.
I mean,
it's just sex. It's porn. It's porn.
it's porn. I'm sorry. It's porn. There's a plot. Is it substantial? No.
What are they doing? Playing hockey? That's the
There,
plot. The plot is them playing hockey.
yeah, some people have trauma,
It's not. No.
injuries.
That's
She's a
just
doctor.
shut your mouth.
Listen, it's
Mm.
smut. I'm using it as a smut, and I'm not ashamed. Don't judge me.
And her husband is very happy.
Right? He's the happiest man. Um, then I'm also listening to the second book by Laura Thalassa, A Strange
Oh,
Hymn,
yay.
because
Oh, you
I
read this, Dina?
well,
Yes.
I got Dina into Rhapsodic. I was like, this is amazing. And then how it ended, I was really scared about the second book, and Dina loved it. Now she's even listening to the third. So
I
I'm like, okay.
finished it today. I forgot to
Let me
mention.
put it on my
Oh,
reads.
So
so
what
what
have
do
you
you have you like I was gonna say, hold on.
like
What are
literally
you
just chapter 2, like fresh out of the box?
okay? What I actually did a review on it today. What did I
Did
say? I mean,
you?
like it was like a very small
I've
review. Oh
never
my
done a
God.
review.
So Rhapsodic, amazing. But to warn you, the male main character, there is no morally gray. He's a black soul of a man,
Oh,
but you will love the shit out of him.
tell me.
Hmm.
And he said, both of you said something.
Hmm,
Maybe how evil it was. It was just like, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that book.
I don't know. He's not very nice, but anybody but her, and I think I dig that.
Yeah.
I
So
think
my
that's what I
review
like.
that I left today, very quick one, is just when you think you can't love Desmond Flynn anymore, this book happens.
Is
He
that
Oh,
for
easily
book
rivals
3?
Rhysand. Yes,
oh,
because book three
out.
is a novella,
I
and
will
it's from
stand.
yes,
What
and
a gauntlet drop.
it's his point of view, and I just like, yeah, I love him.
I
I love him.
love when they do a different point of view. I love
Yes.
that.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I did audio. I was doing audio because they were free until
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one was his voice, which was actually really nice. But yeah,
It was his voice
yeah,
for
yeah.
the third book?
All
For the
right.
third book, yeah.
And
Yeah.
what is
So
the third
just
book? The third book is Dark Harmony.
no, no, no. Well, see, because Goodreads has it a little bit
It is
different.
free until
The Emperor
tomorrow.
of the
Never.
Emperor of Evening Stars is there. I guess it's really like a two and a half, right? But
Okay.
it's technically book three.
Oh. So
Yeah.
oh, the Emperor of the Evening Stars.
Yes.
Nope.
It is two different
It's only an hour and 20
narrators.
minutes.
It's
Yeah.
Chelsea Stevens and Nathaniel
Oh,
Presley. Oh, and it's the library. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I read it on, or I listened to it on 1.7 because I wanted to finish it before
Oh
the
my
end
God,
of this
Dina,
video.
how
Yeah. It
fast
was
is
so good.
that?
It actually wasn't
Oh,
too bad.
hilarious.
Like
I need
once you
to try.
understand the lingo, like the first books, I feel like you have to listen to a little bit slower because you're still trying to figure out characters and like who they
Okay.
are and how they talk.
Mhm.
But like once you kind of get into it, like I can speed it up a bit and I just needed to finish today.
I've listened to a book at two speed
Oh
when
my gosh.
it's like a character's like plot that I'm not really into. I'm like,
Oh,
them again. Okay. Ding, 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 ding,
That's
ding,
funny.
ding.
that's a good idea,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. So pucking around and
Sorry, I took
Grab
over
time.
your TBR here.
Oh my God.
and then that was really helpful. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, Laura Thalassa, what a gem. We like
Yeah.
you. We
I
like
need to
you.
get her on the pod.
Mm-hmm. So our next episodes, Dina had said, is our author interview with Victoria Taylor. And we are also going to be then take a mini break from fantasy and going into It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, which is kind of like a little timely because of all the drama that's happening with Justin
Mhm.
Baldoni.
Yeah, it's gonna go on a tangent about.
Oh, for sure.
Sorry. But I am. You're right. I'm
No,
really
it is,
sorry.
but it's
It's okay.
okay.
We'll get Blake Lively on the pod to
Oh my
discuss.
God.
Obviously. Then Ryan Reynolds, her husband,
Oh,
will give us some of his gin.
I was talking to somebody the other day. They're like, "Who thought they could mess with Deadpool?" I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like,
that's true.
And he's best friends with Hugh Jackman. What an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine gonna kick your fucking ass.
They're humongous. What were you thinking?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, God. All right.
Oh, me. Okay. So, all right. Make sure you follow us everywhere you listen. Rate and review us, please. Follow us on Instagram at Sips with the Suriel, Suriel. Click our link tree bio and follow us on Goodreads. We will also put our episodes each week on YouTube, so please subscribe and like us. It's the same name, Sips with the Suriel. And follow Creative Little Pill for all your podcast art or digital art needs. All right, friends, keep reading to whatever end.